Oh. Okay, we make many decisions throughout the day. For instance, today I decide to come to school. But sometimes we usually change our mind and change our minds. So Huxley said, the only completely constant people are the dead. So we're not dead, so we're not constant. So I want to talk about the example of inconsistent people and why we are not be able to constant. For example, my girlfriend, she's very inconsistent. She changed her mood suddenly, so I cannot expect her reactions, because she's so sensitive. So I can. She's just sensitive, so she changes her mood, her reactions according to my little things. So I absolutely agree with Huxley, because she's not constant every day. And on our decision making, for example, I went to repair shop with my mom because her car was in a she got an accident and she had to repair her car, and I went there and we gave them a check, but like an hour later we had to go back because my mom decided to not fix that. So I was so embarrassing, but I had to go back and get our check back. So we're not consistent. So I want to be consistent, but I cannot. I think I have to wait until I'm dead.
That's on grass and women.
I know, it's not only your girlfriend, it's all girls.
Yeah, I'm too scared. Because like my car is so big. I want my girlfriend. I'm scared.
I was thinking, because I'm thinking.
Why you're done?
You like me too.
Especially your girlfriend.
Everything about this email and culture. Yeah, that's not really. Really?
I'm making money and take you guys places. Hey, happy.
No, I think I like the way you started off pretty well. You're facing the audience squarely. You make a comment that people respond to and seem to be enjoying. You identify the quote. Your goal needs to be a little bit sharper, but we get the general idea, I think, about what you're talking about. You're not a native speaker of English, and so it does make it a little problematic to understand the quote that you're saying, because you're having trouble saying consistent, and sometimes it sounds like you're saying constant, and sometimes it's consistent, and then later on it's consistency. So that's just one of those things that's just a minor awkwardness. I think most people in the audience, though, understood what you were talking about. They all seem to relate to it, although kind of sexist. I thought that you did a nice job coming up with a couple of examples, and you talked about them. The one with your girlfriend, I don't think really develops very much. You just kind of mentioned that she runs hot and cold, and you're not quite sure why. You don't have a story or an illustration to go with this, and why it's a problem or why it's okay with you, or how it illustrates that is, in fact, she should be dead, because then then she would be consistent. The story with your mom is a little bit more elaborate because you've got some details on it, and that gives you a chance to speak. On delivery issues, a couple of times there's some hesitancies. Whenever you get stuck, there's a little bit of an awkward pause. Your gestures are limited because you're holding that paper quote in your hand, and sometimes you let go of it and maybe get a couple of indicators in, but most of the time you just feel like you are sort of internalized there, and I think you need to break out of that. Your facial expressions, they're animated, they seem natural. Once in a while there's a little bit of look of anxiety on it, but it's just, I think it's what we would call a primary level of anxiety. It's not something that you would have to worry about. Your eye contact, though, you are not usually looking out the audience. You're looking in the direction of the audience, but you're not engaging people in a one-on-one way, and I think you want to do a better job at that. Right at the end, I thought maybe there was a little bit more anxiety in the presentation, and it felt like a little bit like at the conclusion of the speech you're bailing out instead of having a more forceful statement about what the point was you were trying to make. All right, thank you.